Hi, I'm Alexi Pukanikin, and we're ballin' today, tomorrow, and most definitely yesterday. At what cost? We are finally back. We are finally back in our studios. Let's just say we're finally back here. I'm still trying to recover from the great outdoors. You can hear my nose is a little stuffy. And on top of the fact, the reason why this week's episode is coming out on a Tuesday instead of a Monday was because, ladies and gentlemen, I had to go get a wisdom tooth pulled out yesterday without like laughing gas or nothing. They put a little local anesthetic and then they just yanked on it for half an hour. So at least yesterday I was just like, okay, I'm not going to try to do so much Kanye, through the wire type of vibe. That's not necessarily fun for anyone. And, here we are today. We have to get into, of course I could keep on delaying this episode until deeper into the week, but no, today is the last day because big things are happening. Big things have happened, so I need to already start reporting on this shit. I need y'all to know what has went down because some historic shit has gone down, and on top of the fact that some historic shit will go down after tonight and onwards. So let's get right into it. Formula One, starring Brad Pitt, in theaters summer 2025. Yeah, dude, because, what's the fucking point of, reporting on the real sport? All the real athletes when Brad Pitt's driving a fucking car. And he's getting interviewed. Yeah, today was a tough one, blah, 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 we could have done better with the Gorlami. No, I'm just thinking about all the roles. All of a sudden, hey, no, listen, hey, it's great. They're trying to, integrate a movie into, the actual sport. Because when they usually make sports movies, it's just like a repeat depiction. But no, this one they're trying to literally have the real time thing going, and then somehow incorporate their kind of subplot. And it's interesting. Look, listen. The whole thing is, right, they're just gonna get a hype. Basically, whatever the Drive to Survive producers want the actual drivers to say, Brad Pitt will say it. It's whatever you imagine is the pinnacle drama of Drive to Survive is basically what's going to be the movie. The movie's going to be just that. Oh my God. Oh my God. No way. We lost 3/10 on the second sector, man. What the fuck? Fuck this shit. Fuck, man. When realistically, it's they're in the, the real life is okay, so, unfortunately, you are losing 2/10 in the second sector. So, what do you propose? Oh, yeah, let's just change the front wing a little bit like this. So we think it's going to be better. Okay, let's try that tomorrow. Okay, let's do this. And guess what? That's whack. That real life shit is whack. The fun stuff, the entertaining stuff, the stuff I want to see is Brad Pitt. That's how they opened up the trailer too. It's I have to respect it. They're trying to really, I think this is really for the F1 fans, which I respect. I think that's the one angle. I think Drive to Survive is to kind of show people that aren't into the sport that I think F1 the movie, it's kind of like they just want a dramatic, exaggerated, cool looking version of what F1 actually is, and F1 fans are gonna fucking bite that shit up easy, and then on top of the fact that it's Brad Pitt. Anyone who loves Brad Pitt, knows Brad Pitt, wants to see basically a Top Gun, but with Brad Pitt, and instead of a fighter jet, it's a fighter car, whatever, like a really fast car. That's all it is to it. I'm sure it's going to be cool. I'm sure visually it's going to be really cool. I mean, that's always like the one thing with Formula One. It's just like, okay, well, how can we get to see the real stuff? Like the real, like, how does it look? And I think they're going to do a really good job at showing like how intense it gets, in terms of the speed and all that. So Brad Pitt, that's it. That's it for that's it for Formula One news. I mean, why report on, why talk about what has actually happened? But no, okay, let's get. I don't know if I should be kneeling for this. I don't know. Or like, like bowed down, or Sir Lewis Hamilton is back at the number one position where he belongs. Now he has 104 wins and also 104 pole positions. I mean, Jesus. I know for a fact, I've been calling it this season, that Lewis Hamilton for sure is going to win one with Merck before he leaves Merck, right? And honestly, I should have just said it was a guarantee after Canada, because honestly, since Canada, the Merck has just been going up and up and up and improving and getting faster. It's crazy. Lewis Hamilton, buddy, I'm going vegan now. Like, there's no doubt about it no more. I had an ex-girlfriend who was vegan, longest relationship I've had. That didn't convince me. Buddy, you have been winning for over 17 years. I'm going to go vegan. I don't know what to say. I mean, if there is a guy who has the secret formula, no pun intended, the secret formula for aging, like anti-aging, this is the guy. This is the guy. Like, it's kind of crazy, because usually it's like you get older, you start getting a little crankier, you start giving less of a shit, kind of like, let's just say, like, for example, the legendary Kimi Räikkönen, right? Started off passionate, yeah. Of course, he was always a little bit like Iceman, whatever, but then towards the end, he was just like, blah, 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 I don't really give a fuck about this. You don't see that with Lewis Hamilton. It seems like he's giving more of a shit now, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This guy, anti-aging formula, maybe the formula is formula. Something with the G-forces he pulls, maybe. It like scientifically, biologically, anatomically, kind of like he pulls so much G-forces on average. It's almost like Superman fucking flying so that the time goes backwards. I don't know. I could totally see some crazy stuff like that happening. But yeah, no, that guy is definitely not turning 40. I don't care what, his birth certificate says, but you're gonna have to put a bullet in my head or threaten to put a bullet in my head to convince me that he's gonna turn 40, because he ain't. There's no way. Historical. Broke the record now for the most wins at a single GP, single track. 9 wins at Silverstone. He wins it at home. in front of the whole home crowd. And yes, of course, there's George Russell nowadays, there's Lando Norris nowadays, and they're also British drivers, but Lewis Hamilton is by far still the most popular. I know Norris, with the younger kids, has quite a good contention with popularity, but no, it's still the GOAT, the actual GOAT of the sport. He's still the most popular. And no, I got to give it to Lewis Hamilton because it's he somehow always pulls it off when he has the tire disadvantage in the last stint of the race with Max Verstappen chasing him down and closing in. He don't give a shit. He don't give a shit about Max Verstappen, or somehow he just defies everything and just keeps it going to be able to secure that win. I'm kind of referencing the 2020 Silverstone GP where he won the race with, with a freaking punctured tire, and Max Verstappen was chasing him down and almost did. And this was the same case. Max Verstappen was flying on the hard tires, while Lewis Hamilton, even though the soft tires were all right to begin the stint with, they were starting to decline, and it was pressure, man. I was stressed out, man. The whole race, I was stressed out. I've never screamed so much since, honestly, Abu Dhabi 2021. But 2021, yeah. I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me, honestly, how this season is going. And it's only halfway. I think that's the craziest part about all this. We're only that was round 12. Silverstone was round 12. There's 24 rounds. We're only halfway. But yeah, so far, I think in terms of the biggest improvements, it's been Mercedes without a doubt. Because I was just checking through the first maybe quarter of the season. Yeah, dude, like Lewis Hamilton was like a P6 was like a good, very solid result for him. And after Silverstone, George Russell secures the pole position. Lewis Hamilton was second, so it was 1-2. And honestly, if it wasn't for George Russell's DNF, maybe we would have seen, very possibly, we could have seen a Mercedes 1-2. Which is mind blowing, because have we even seen a single 1-2? I'm forgetting, but it definitely hasn't been a lot of those. Definitely not. Dude, they're actually fighting out there, which is actually kind of crazy. The rain, Piastri, yes, Lewis Hamilton. He went above and beyond to secure the win. However, it was also because he won also because of other people's misfortunes. And I'm talking about, in this case, it's the Papaya Orange Army McLaren. You guys did not do any favors for your drivers. Again, not here to spread negativity. However, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, both at times had chance. It looked like they had a chance to win the GP. I mean, Lando Norris, his last tire change into the last stint, he still had a fresh set of medium tires, but instead of the mediums, they put on the softs. And because of the softs, they started degrading too fast, and Verstappen was able to overtake for the second position, instead of Lando Norris theoretically gaining to Lewis Hamilton from the second position to the first. Also, Oscar Piastri, he was showing some wet weather masterclass driving. I mean, just masterclass, having the grip when it was raining, when it was pretty much inters. And the McLaren, instead of opting for double stacking the McLarens, meaning that they're going to first put on a new set of tires for Lando Norris, and in the same go in the same sequence, couple seconds, and then Piastri's behind in the pits, and then they put on the wet tires for Piastri. They instead decided to put Lando Norris in first and make Oscar Piastri drive a lap around the very, very wet track in dry tires. And then by the time he came in the pit stop, he lost too much time, lost a lot of time. And it was one of those. And I personally think Oscar Piastri was driving incredibly well in the inters as well. He was driving really well with the dry tires in the kind of half wet conditions, but I think he was also, so there was a lot, like, of course, because of my bias here, I was kind of I thought that Piastri was one of the most favorable to win if it wasn't for the strategy calls. So that's where you saw the expertise with Mercedes, because they've been in situations like this before. They've been winning for so long, so that when it came down to, okay, how do we get this win, they made the right call with Lewis Hamilton. McLaren, they're not, in the modern era, they're not used to the winning ways, okay? And with that being said, I'm not taking anything away from them. They're still, improving a lot with the car. McLaren definitely has the pace. Now we're at a point where, going into round 13, I have no idea what car is going to get the pole position. Is it going to be Merc? Is it going to be a McLaren? Is it going to be Verstappen in the Red Bull? So, McLaren, please get it together. If you guys go for different strategies with the drivers, make sure they're still like technically equally aggressive, equally advantageous. Okay, because obviously Lando Norris and Piastri, they're both fucking phenomenal drivers. So we got to get that together, okay? Red Bull. Okay, yes, Max Verstappen is most likely still going to win the Drivers' Championship this year. However, as a team, it's getting sketchy. It's getting sketchy, ladies and gentlemen. I am not going to talk about Checo Perez and his performance at Silverstone. I don't want to be adding salt to the wounds or kicking him while he's down. But it's getting real. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. I mean, Red Bull at this point, from their point of view, they got a lot of catching up to do. Because Verstappen should be theoretically 0.5 ahead of everyone's pace. Because that's kind of how that's been Red Bull's vibe for the past couple seasons. However, right now, Verstappen's fighting for his life for a P2. And we're talking about Verstappen, probably one of the most skillful, fastest drivers on the grid right now. He's fighting for his life in that Red Bull car. I mean, it's not getting easy. Silverstone, for sure, the whole weekend, they were not up there with Mercedes and McLaren. Like, you can actually say that. And so they got to pull it together. Perez, yeah, don't even think, honestly, I know Perez is probably thinking about himself, like, fuck, everyone's dissing me, I'm fucking the thing up for myself. Dude, he's got to start thinking a little bit like I'm fucking it up a little bit for the team. Because Verstappen's fighting up there, up on the top steps by himself. He has no, support. And at this point, Perez has been struggling so much after the contract extension, which was right before the Canadian GP, that he has a genuine threat right now of dropping to P8, like 8th position in the driver's standings, with Max Verstappen pretty much guaranteed to win all the way at number 1. Perez is at a point where he might drop all the way down to P8 because right now, out of nowhere, seemingly, the Mercedes are fast as hell now. So then you have Max Verstappen number 1, but then Norris right now in the McLaren has already showed off the consistency so that he's pulled away a little bit from Charles Leclerc, right, from P3. Carlos Sainz, after an okay Silverstone, however, Leclerc has been really, really struggling the past 2 races. Now Sainz is 4 points behind his teammate. 4 points. All right. And then we have Piastri in number 5. Perez is at 6 right now, which already is a little bit like, okay, shouldn't you be a little bit closer to Max Verstappen? Okay, we get it. Competition's high. The level of skill is very high. But George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, George Russell is sitting at 111 points and Lewis Hamilton sitting at 110. Sergio Perez is at 118. Like, it's getting to a point where it's just like, I can see if after we have a break now and then there's a double header with Hungary and Spa. If after those 2 Perez falls down to P8, then really there might be one of those mid-season changes, man. Because Red Bull already known to be pretty freaking savage when it comes to just mid-season changes. It's getting hairy. It's getting scary. But with that being said, the competition is so high. Yes, I think Max Verstappen is winning now. He's still there's. I don't think there's any doubt that he's not winning the drivers' championship. He's at 255, and the closest competition, Lando Norris at 2nd, is sitting at 171. Theoretically, yeah, if Lando Norris got like, like 4 to 5 podiums and then Max Verstappen, DNFs maybe like 3 or more times, then maybe it would be closer. But knowing the consistency of Max Verstappen in his Red Bull, then that's not a discussion. However, and I do think that Lando Norris is sitting rather comfortably right now in the 2nd position. However, maybe one bad DNF could turn the page around a little bit. Charles Leclerc sitting at P3 with 150. Carlos Sainz, like I said, is at 146 right now, 4 points behind his. And ladies and gentlemen, I will say this. Carlos Sainz will finish above Charles Leclerc in the drivers' championship standings at the end of the season, and that will just show you how next level Carlos Sainz is. That will just and with that, he will end it at the statistically highest possible note, and then we'll really see. Then we'll really see. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Oscar Piastri sitting at 124. Perez at 118. Again, I can't say much. One DNF and a podium might switch a lot of things around. All right. But let's just say I don't think Oscar Piastri I think it might be a little too tough for Oscar Piastri to end up in like the 2nd position up to like Lando Norris at 171. I think a 50-point gap is quite big, but again, 2 DNFs, a different situation. All right. George Russell sitting at 111. Lewis Hamilton 110. Sergio Perez 118. I think Oscar Piastri still in this kind of zone more. Piastri, Sergio Perez, Russell, Hamilton, P5 to P8 in the driver's standings. Pretty damn close. These four drivers, I think it could go any position. Of course, my prediction is Piastri is going to be ending up on top of this pack, but who knows? So out of all this, let's just say for the rest of the season, we're halfway through, and we still got another half left to go. With that being said, second half of 2024 season. Let's say I'm definitely going Piastri win. I've been saying that since the start of the season, but just to keep the consistency, Piastri win. And you know what? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, because I'm not a hater. I believe in people. Okay? I do not give up on people. Okay? So with that being said, guess what? I know this sounds like an impossibility. Perez win. Because I looked at the schedule a little bit. You know what? There are a couple tracks that he might do a little something. All right? And also, I think we need a second one to strengthen my prediction of Carlos Sainz will end up above Charles Leclerc at the end of the season in the Drivers' Championship standings. I'm saying Carlos Sainz is still winning one more before the end of the season. And last but not least, for the love of Christ, for my boy, the Mullet King, the handsomest bastard on the grid, it has to be. It's Bottas. And yes, the kick stake F1 team, they haven't been that good this season. I'm going to say straight up. I'm not going to mince my words here. But Bottas points. I believe in it. I believe he can pull off either a P8 or a P7, P6 in a chaotic sprint race, or a P10, P9 in a GP. Okay. I truly believe that is a possibility. But there you go. 4 shout outs to the second half of the Formula One season. And we have amazing stuff coming up still. Like amazing. Think about it. We have a week break. Yeah, this weekend we have a break. And then we have Hungary and then Spa doubleheader. After that, take a longer break. Then it's the summer holiday for everyone. And yes, they need a holiday too, considering the season goes through the freaking whole year pretty much. Yeah. Belgium is going to be a fun one, of course. You ended off there. Then we start off in Zandvoort. We still have Monza after Zandvoort. After Monza, we have Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan used to be at the start of the season. Now it's on the second half of the season, which I actually really, really love, because Azerbaijan, really high-speed street circuit, is followed by Singapore, much more technical street circuit. Then after that, we still have Austin, which is just one of the best, relatively new, still traditional tracks. And then Mexico with the super long straight. Brazil, I mean, everybody loves Brazil. And then after that, Las Vegas, Qatar. But Abu Dhabi, I think Abu Dhabi is at least a very, very solid track to end off the season with. So we still have a lot of excitement to go, okay? A lot of this stuff to possibly happen, all right? And I'm going to be sticking with it. However, let's move on. It's yeah, okay? Because I think a lot of people, there's still some delusional people out there. Oh, but it's still Max Verstappen winning. It's still Red Bull. It's nah. I gotta tell you, nah. This is one of the most exciting seasons we've had in a very, very long time. And truthfully, I just can't believe that I'm part of it. And I've been following it along. And Formula One, one of the sports that actually favors the European citizen. Okay. Because, of course, we have UFC, which doesn't favor us much, but we will still be tuning in this weekend. Simple little UFC fight night in the Apex. Thug Rose, currently ranked number 6 flyweight division, goes against Tracy Cortez, who's ranked number 11. Very, very interesting main event. Very interesting main event. We have like the two spectrum of women. I'm again not mincing my words. We have Thug Rose, who, you know, Rose Namajunas, I know, but Thug Rose is her fighting name, and you know, she's a lady who's just purely dedicated on, you know, the art of the sport, and you know, doesn't really mind any of the, like, she's much more of an athlete than she is a woman. Or, like, let's just say traditionally she doesn't take part of on the femininity stuff, right? And on the other side we have the beautiful, the very passionate Tracy Cortez. And you know, sometimes I like to enjoy watching her grappling tutorials. And listen, if you're looking at me like, Alexi, you're being so like one-sided, you're being like a misogynist, you're being, let's just say for the both the ladies, would. No. You know what? You know why I say that? You know why I would say that? You know, even though it's because both women fully dedicate themselves into being better at a sport that they love, and the discipline they both have towards like one thing is something that most men can achieve. I'm not even at that level. So yeah, of course I would say something like that, because it's just like, you know, a woman, hey, look, listen, that kind of woman over, you know, an OnlyFans girl, any time of the day, anytime of the day. I will tell you that right now. 5-rounder for the main event. I don't mind 5 rounds. Tracy's really well-rounded. However, I'd say if there was she's a little bit better of a grappler than a striker, or it's what she prefers. Thug Rose, very good at distance management, so this is a very very close matchup. If it goes decision, I have to say I think it's Rose, because she has a really, really high level pace. However, Tracy, I think, has a slight size advantage or weight advantage. And also, Tracy's hot right now. I mean, she's been hot, but she's extra hot right now. And I'm not talking about looks. She's on a 5-fight win streak currently. Okay? She obviously doesn't want that taken away from her because if she has a dominant performance over Rose, she might just get the next title shot. All right, so let's keep that in mind. I'm going to be definitely tuning in for every single second of this matchup. And that's UFC for this weekend. But that is definitely, even though in some people's eyes, I mean, it might just be the biggest matchup. Biggest matchup in the world. However, I hate to break it to you. Europe is the world, and you're just living in it. You know, it's moments like this where it's just like, nah, you know what? Maybe Europeans, they got their shit together. All right. And with that being said, I'm talking about the Euros. It's the Euros. We finally made it to the semifinals, and the finals are later this week. So tonight, at 10 o'clock, finish time at least, Spain is going against France. And tomorrow, the Netherlands are going against England. To be honest with you, you ask an American or an Asian that has graduated from middle school what's like the first 5 countries you can think of when it comes to Europe. It's pretty much these 4 countries. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like Spain, France, Netherlands, England. Like, there's, in a way, I kind of just wanted to see some, like, you know, like a Turkey get in there, like a Georgia, you know, not the biggest, like the worldwide biggest well-known countries. But, you know, this is the thing. They got these countries, they're all really good at football, right? A bit controversial, you know, where the players' origins are from nowadays. However, that doesn't matter because Europe, we're all about international, cross borders. As long as you're European, that's fine, right? And you know, like technically, what the fuck is England doing in this goddamn tournament? Huh? What the fuck? Get the Okay, anyways. No, I still really love the passion from the British fans, so I'm not going to cap. Of course, but, you know, Netherlands versus Germany, that would have sounded a little bit nicer. I'm just saying, no hate. But, like, you know, if we're really talking about authentic Euros. All right. Okay, anyways. Spain versus France. I am going to go with Spain because the only player's name or new player's name that I kind of found out about was Yamal. And I fucking love Yamal because he plays like he's 16 years old. But somehow that playing style is still like almost better than all these grown men. It's kind of crazy. So I'm going with Spain. And plus just, you know, like I think you know, they got the passion. You know, they got the Barcelona, Real Madrid. They're kind of coming together all together just because Spain, right? France, you know what, buddy? You're getting the Olympics already. So fucking deal with that, all right? This is when I start getting a little bit negative because this is Euros. This is country shit. This ain't no sports league shit anymore. This ain't no constructors. This ain't no teams. This is just country versus country. This is not like a right. All right. So Spain, I predict Spain is going to the finals, and tomorrow with Netherlands versus England. Look, listen. I'm one of the few who actually kind of want to see it's coming home. You know, and they deserve it. You know, the Queen died, the King died. The other ones got fucking cancer at a pretty young age. They're going through a rough time, okay? they're really going through a rough time. And then now on top of that, the freaking, there was something with the government, something. It ain't been the easiest, right? I kind of want, but however, Nederlands, hoe gaat het? I've seen the Netherlands national team play back in China. That's one of the only national team of soccer teams that I've ever watched, like, in real life. So yeah, I'm part of that Orange Army too, in a way. If I had to like rep a country, out of these four, it would definitely be Netherlands. All right, they're cool ass motherfuckers. That's all I could say. So the finals on Sunday, I'm predicting Spain versus Netherlands. And I love the Netherlands. However, I think Spain have been just playing beautiful soccer as far as I can understand it. Like, they've been playing like pretty freaking well. And I've been following for quite a while, at least very closely from the group of 16. With that being said, I think Spain takes the win at the Euros on Sunday. And yeah, hopefully I'll be here talking to you about the Euros. How do you spell no, Euros finals? Let's just say I'll write down the finals matchup. It will be Spain versus Netherlands. And I'm going to circle Spain to win the championship. All right. Either way, I think this whole thing has been a very positive thing. A lot of EU energy. Just everyone kind of getting together. Everyone showing passion, but not in a negative way. Everyone's in Germany, kind of Germany, the epicenter of the EU, pretty much. No, it's been wonderful. I think this whole tournament has been good energy. Yes, there's been Chinese advertisements. We ignore those, or we take it all in as well. We take everything in. And it's been a beautiful tournament. I've been very glad to just be a part of it and, kind of give a shit about it, because very rarely do I give a shit about soccer. I'm sorry. But yeah, hey, that's the Euros. What else is there this week? I mean, not much. I mean, my boys, the Helsinki Roosters, finally back playing in home court. They were away for a few games. Took one out, unfortunately, to the strongest in the league. Right, they're they have a very strong off. We almost beat them. We were close. I think we can make the adjustments if we do face them off later. And we took a great win against another decent team as well on the road. So that is all just very. I mean, there was this one kick return from this guy Julian Bell, which was absolutely phenomenal, absolutely mind blowing. But this weekend again, home versus home kind of matchup. We got the Helsinki Roosters going against the Helsinki Wolverines. Very intense. Last time it was very one-sided. This time I hope it's still very one-sided, because the Roosters are the shit. I don't think they're slowing down in any way. I do think that the Wolverines have possibilities to have adapted a little bit more, come up with a different game plan. However, I think the Roosters, they're on the same level of adapting, learning how to get better. The game's this Thursday. I'll be there tuning in, cheering those guys on. If I had to if I have to predict the score, which I do think I want to predict the score right now. Let's do this. Sorry, Tracy. Sorry, Trace. Did I give a shout out to? Wait, did I even say what was gonna happen for the fight night? I do think Rose versus I don't know. I really think Tracy's got this, man. Tracy's a freaking legend. She's always posting stuff. She first posts like she always she posts a picture, a beautiful picture of herself, right? And then another picture of her like training, and then she's got a quote where it's like, the eyes can reach the level that she sees. Do I know what that means? No, not really, but it's feminist, it's strong, it's inspiring. I love that energy. Okay, so with that being said, 5-fight win streak as well. Let's just say Cortez MMA. I'll literally fucking tag her at, that's her at Cortez MMA. I'll have to say Cortez. Oh my God, why do I forget? Cortez win either by decision or submission. I do think she has the submission skills. So Cortez win, bam, I'll just say that. And then here, Roosters versus Wolverines. I am going to predict the score, I think. Okay. I'm going to say 34-17. Bang. That's my predictions. The Pukeniken picks for this week. Week 28. Ballin' at What Cost? Season 2024. We're in July now. Let's just say halfway through summer. Whatever. We don't care. We're having a good time. Even though we're not even 100%. We're still enjoying life, man. I hope y'all are doing the same too. I'm Alexi Pukeniken. We're balling today. Most definitely yesterday. And we'll be balling tomorrow too. I'll catch you guys later.